Welcome to the show. Seems a lot cooler this week, thankfully. If you was tuned in last week, you'd have seen me ranting and going on about the weather because it was absolutely baking in Essex. I don't know if it was like that everywhere. I think it was because it was on the news. But it was just literally, it was unbearable. I think it was last Wednesday and Thursday. You literally couldn't move without breaking a sweat. It was absolutely horrendous, and in here with all the lights it was even worse. It was just such bad, and we know that a lot of you had such hot weather because you was letting us know on social media also. But even though it was hot, it was still lovely to have a bit of sun because it's a very rare sight to see in the UK, isn't it? Now it's nice to be back up here in the studio, as on Monday's show was coming to you from ZSL London Zoo. If you didn't catch the show, you can check it out on our YouTube channel, which it was fantastic meeting all the animals and just filming with them. Now, time to start today's show. Coming up, we'll be looking through today's papers and giving you all the latest headlines. But I want you to get involved in today's show, and here's how. Get in touch and get involved. You can contact us on our social media platforms, hitting us up on Facebook, following us on Twitter, sending your pics to us on Instagram, and emailing us. I'll look forward to hearing from you. Look through the papers now, and on the front page of the Daily Mirror, it's the story about strangers who wed for TV reality show. That's talking about the new television programme which sees couples they first meet their partner who they're going to marry at the altar. Yes, not one to be missed on telly, that's for sure. And on this one it's about the budget George tax cuts for the middle classes. And on the other side of the newspaper it says coal cooler charities told to clean up their act. There's a lot of that in the press at the moment about coal call charities phoning up, especially elderly people, demanding money and getting quite ratty when they don't hand over money. It's absolutely awful. On the front page of the Metro it's never forget youngsters 7/7 survivor pleads to nation. Sad story there. On the front page of the Daily Star, it's got Rita Ora at the X Factor. Rita's got Sex Factor. We'll be talking more about that over the next coming shows because they're obviously filming their auditions at the moment, which will air, I think it'll be August, September time on ITV. Here it's flying the flag as long as it's ISIS. And on up here it's always in our hearts, 7/7 remember. That's the Daily Star. On the front page of the Sun, it's serial killer cast double on McCann's, Ripper's vile Maddie slur. And up here it's about the budget, which is in most of the papers today. Thankfully we will not be talking about the budget, to be honest, because we're not a politics sort of show here at the Nicole Williams show. And on the front page of the Daily Mirror it's Barrymore's sues police for murder arrest, and up there it's got Rita Ora, X Factor, Rita pops out, star judge Mrs. Day of auditions. That's obviously because of the death of Simon Cowell's mother, very sadly. Underneath the Daily Mirror's logo it's Osborne firms and the 6 million offshore deals. That's the budget again. And that's it from the newspapers. Coming up, we'll have all your comments on today's latest news stories. See you after this. Now it seems like things have been getting spooky for the loose women, as it seems Halloween come early for them, as they were spooked by a spider that appeared in the background of the set just behind Janet Street Porter. Yes, Janet, we love Janet. Oh, this happened today. It was clear that it was Colin Nolan's first time hosting the lunchtime show panel, when sadly it didn't go off too well because of the spider in the background. There was a few swear words when Janet shouted out about the spider. Colin was sat in the hot seat for the first time when her co-host presenter Janet slipped up by swearing, clearly not going well for Colin Nolan. Janet was heard saying pissed when she was telling an Anaconda forcing Colin to apologise for the bad language. She said, because I was a bit PISSED, I picked out the one that was really Larry one. A shocked Sherry Hewson nudged Colleen, who had to interrupt her to apologise for saying the very serious and awful language live on the show where children could be watching. Whoa, she said. I'm sorry, we're not allowed to say that. I do apologise. Some viewers, going back to the spider thing, took to Twitter and said about the spider, as one person said, "Ooh, big spider behind Janet Street Porter on at Loose Women." The Loose Women team saw this comment and decided to reply back and said, "Thanks for spotting the spider behind Janet. Eek." God, not a good start for Colleen Nolan on her first day of hosting the show. We know she's wanted to host the show for a while, and it seems her dreams come true but didn't go well. In other news, staying on with the ITV shows, David Cameron has made an appearance on This Morning, but this time it wasn't being interviewed. The Prime Minister caused a sight you don't expect to see, as Amanda Holden and Gok Wan, as he was standing for Philip Schofield, were out hosting the ITV This Morning yesterday out on the South Bank when the PM ran by with his two bodyguards. Yes, the TV double looked very shocked as David Cameron ran by, and Amanda just shouted out, "Oi, David Cameron is jogging by the South Bank. Oi, Dave, DC," she kept shouting out. Amanda and Gok, who were standing in for regular host Philip Schofield, laughed their heads off as he jogged by, and Amanda even admitted that David Cameron was in very good shape. Clearly hanging him up there, eh, Amanda? He wore a navy blue t-shirt and black shorts as he enjoyed some morning exercises, but he seemed to went unrecognisable through the crowds. Amanda later admitted that, like I just said, she thought that David was in good shape. But he's over the moon with that. You can see David Cameron photobombing this morning. Now, I've got some comments on this story about his photobomb, and Donna has said, "Hilarious, no, and he's just running by. What is so funny about that?" Bit miserable there, Donna. Who else? Christopher said, "I really am curious how the Daily Mail knows the word notorious." And Peter, because Daily Mail obviously reported this story, they were first to break the news, like they always are, to be honest. Peter has said, "Hope he's jogging down to Callie's to see what's going on down there." Your opinion, not ours. And T has said, "He didn't actually photobomb the show, now did he? Does that mean that anyone passing by photobombed the show too? Someone just walking down the South Bank, are they photobombing it as well?" Kay has said he's getting ready for his summer snaps. Doesn't he know what those pictures are going to do to him when they come out in the press? Another person, David, hopefully not David Cameron, has said, "David Cameron got one, Amanda Holden. Shouldn't be too hard to say that's a rabbit caught in a headlights." We don't know quite what you mean there. And that's all for your comments. I'll see you after this, where we'll be going outside for more showbiz news. See you after that. Welcome back. Now time for a bit of showbiz news outside in this lovely weather. First up, we actually have some sad news, as it's been announced that Simon Cowell's mother, Julie, has passed away. The news was broken on Sunday, and Mr. Cowell's family confirmed that the 89-year-old died on Sunday evening, leaving them devastated. Cowell's brother Tony said, "Very sad news tonight. We will all miss Mum so very much. She was the heart and soul of our family." Sad news there. Mrs. Cowell was married to EMI music executive Eric, who passed away in 1999, aged 81. Now, as we've just told you, carrying on from the Simon Cowell's mother passed away, it's now been announced that today's first X Factor auditions of the new series have been postponed following the death of Simon Cowell's mother. The 89-year-old has been described as the heart and soul of the family. They were due to start today and carry on into Tuesday and Wednesday. Today's have been cancelled, and we have not made any decisions beyond that point. The show was expected to be attended by Mr. Cowell himself and fellow judge Rita Ora, Cheryl Fernandez-Fassini and Nick Grimshaw, and of course presenters Ollie Mers and Caroline Flack. A spokesman for Mr. Cowell's family has said, "Today our beloved mum, Julie, has passed away. Anyone who met would know what a truly special and kind lady she was. We are all heartbroken and will miss her terribly, but she is now at peace." Very sad news there, absolutely heartbreaking. And also in some other news, now a bit lighter news, well not for the fans, it was Nicki Minaj has shown up to perform at Wireless Festival over the weekend, over 2 hours late. Yes, she got stuck in traffic, bless her. The singer rushed on stage to perform one song at the end of her set with David Guetta. Fans were left very disappointed as she took to the stage, should have been between 7 and 8 p.m. ahead of headliner David Guetta, but she didn't walk out on stage till after 9 p.m. because of the traffic obviously. Festival organisers were left red-faced after being forced to admit that they had no clue where the rapper was and had absolutely no idea that she was stuck in traffic. Nicki was flying in from Denmark following a gig on Saturday night when she failed to appear on stage at the correct time. A message flashed up on the screen at the stage reading, "Special announcement, we are told that she is late due to speeding down the M1 from Luton Airport as we speak, but have lost contact with her. We are hoping that she'll be here very, very soon." Highway England earlier reported that heavy congestion between junctions 9 and 8 in Bedfordshire and Hertfordshire close to Luton Airport following a car fire. I feel like a travel expert now. Ticket holders at the weekend festival booed when the star failed to state her highly anticipated set, with many taking to Twitter to demand a refund. Someone tweeted, "At Wireless Festival, can I have a refund? Came to see full Nicki Minaj set, had to leave, hashtag shambles, hashtag weekend ruined, hashtag Nicki Minaj, hashtag no show." Lots of hashtags there. Also, Abby Smith 23 took to her Twitter account to say, "I was here to see Nicki, but now I need to go home because I am working tomorrow. They should be sorted out. The timing a bit better. I just love Nicki, so I'm so gutted that I didn't get to see her." Wireless Festival had tweeted earlier, "Nicki Minaj has had last minute travel issues, so is delayed. We will update as soon as we have more info." The Anaconda hitmaker made more up for their hard tiredness when she finally appeared. However, dressed in a net bodysuit, Nicki left little to the imagination in her daring see-through look. Also in other news, it was the first glimpse of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge with both of their children as Princess Charlotte melted the hearts of the nation and the world at her christening over the weekend. But despite it being the 9-week-old big day, her big brother Prince George almost stole the show by charming the crowd who had gathered to see the family on the Sandringham estate. We heard 3,000 queued up to see the family. Lovely. The family of four made their journey to the Church of St Mary's, Manglesleen in Sandringham together for the private ceremony, attended by 21 official guests, including the Queen and Prince Philip, as other members of family close to the 9-week-old prince. 5 godparents, Kate dressed in all ivory and pushed Charlotte in a traditional style black pram, who George turned 2 on July 22nd, walked alongside her parents clutching his father's hand. It was only the second time Prince Charlotte has been seen in public, because obviously she wasn't, the first time was outside the Linden Wing, and the photographers were there to capture the moment. George was dressed in an outfit of red shorts and white embroidered shirt, almost the ideal replica worn by his father, who went to see his brother Prince Harry many years ago when he was a child. What the hell was that? Waved well wishes and greeted his grandmother the Queen after the ceremony. Such lovely pictures from the day, fantastic. And there was a future nod tradition. Kate pushed the large traditional silver rim mission crown once used for the Duke and Duchess of Earl and Wessex. Now in other news, TV presenter Emma Willis has been forced to speak and deny that she knew former Big Brother housemate Danny Whisker before entering the Big Brother house. The presenter, who is married to McBusters star Matt Willis, spoke out following allegations made against her on Twitter after uncovering an old photo of the host posing with the housemate. BB fans started viciously pointing fingers and accusing Channel 5 reality show of being fixed. Speaking on Big Brother's bit on the side, Emma fumed, "I'd like to address something. All the shitstorm we're going on Twitter, it's pissing me off to the point where it's making me want to come off Twitter for good. Because it's just effing ridiculous. Danny, I do not know him. I did a TV show with him 3 or 4
years ago on ITV2's Girlfriends. I met him twice, and that's why I had a picture with him. I don't know him at all, just met him twice, she explained. Because at the end of the shoot that I did with him, he said, "Can I have a picture?" I went, "Yes, thanks. I've not seen him before. He's not a friend. We do not have the same agent." Good girl, get a life. Amongst the viewers tuned into Big Brother's bit on the side, former housemate Jade Martina Lynch took to her Twitter account to say, "Get in, Emma Willis. Danny told me in the house that you guys were basically friends. Name dropper cleared up. #BBUK. Now, carrying on the Big Brother news, it's now been announced that the Big Brother housemates are there in for a telling off, as they decided to break boundaries in the house after an intense round of nominations. The Cage Up star began plotting against the show's producers, stirring up trouble in the garden. Chloe suggested to Sam, "Let's get hyped up. Let's do it. We've got a wicked plan. Let's cause some effing mayhem." Hours later, bosses were forced to send in the troops, i.e. a few security guards, when the house became so out of control that they were running riot throughout the house. Taking to extreme measures, some even tore off their microphones, which is completely against Big Brother's rules, and it's stated in the book that they're not allowed to take microphones off. But before, Big Bros were having none of this and swiftly took control of the rebels before returning them into the garden after, according to show sources who spoke to the Mirror newspaper, it became so out of control that bosses had no choice but to bring in security guards. Nick Henderson, who is now worried that he'll be kicked out of the house for his behaviour, regrets his actions, with co-star Joel Williams even packed his case and left it out for collection before telling anyone, "This is really serious now." Big Brother quickly announced that housemates will be punished by stating, "This is Big Brother. Housemate should remain in the house or suffer the consequences." They said, of course, they're obviously going to suffer the consequences now for breaking out the house. So stupid and pathetic, we know. But it must be such mad for them being in that house for so long. Unbelievable. We personally don't think we could do it. Could you? Let us know on our social media account. And here's how.
Get in touch and get involved. You can contact us on our social media platforms, hitting us up on Facebook, following us on Twitter, sending your pics to us on Instagram, and emailing us. I'll look forward to hearing from you. Welcome back. Now, lovely time cooling off outside, but it's nice to be back here in the studio. Now, super cute news now. Have you ever wondered what Prince George calls his nanny the Queen? Well, neither did we until we found out. Well, finding out what delightful Prince George calls the Queen in an adorable video from his sister's christening that's been uploaded online. So what does Prince George call the Queen? The royal tot has been as a cute name for his great-gran, to most of us, we simply call her the Queen. But that's not what little Prince George calls her, as crowds were given a glimpse into how the royal family have behaved behind the scenes at the christening on Sunday, as yesterday they gathered for the Princess Charlotte's christening. Adorable footage that's been uploaded online shows William leaning to Prince George and holding his hand back at Queen Sandringham House after the service, telling him that they're going back to what sounds like he says either Granny or Nanny's house. Comments came after he reassured Prince George that they are all coming, as George looked behind him to check see if the rest of the Middletons were following on behind him. Very sweet. It was a lovely moment. And of course the royals were on their way shortly behind him. The footage suggests that even though the Queen is George's great-grandmother, the family have kept it simple by dropping the great and just calling her Nanny or Granny. It is thought that George calls Carol Middleton Grandma, and it is well known that the young royal refers to the Queen as Granny. He's so cute. He really is a gorgeous baby. William and Harry shouted "Go Granny" when the Queen was at the Olympic Games opening ceremony in 2012 in James Bond themed stunts. So clearly that's what they call their Granam. And Prince Harry said To me, she's just Granny. When asked about the Queen in the Diamond Jubilee interview that happened a few years back, imagine calling the Queen Granny. I'd want to call her the Queen, wouldn't you? Let us know what you think. Such a gorgeous, gorgeous, sweet little boy, and we can't wait to see him out and about again. Now, I have some of your comments about this story, and they're very, very cute. Some of you have been a little bit moody, shall we say, about this, but that's just the member of the public. Where are the comments? Someone said, Fiona has said, he's hardly going to call the Queen Carol, is he? Darcy has said, like a normal child and family then. Yep, they're such like every other family. They really are. It's unbelievable. Katie has said, what the F is that nanny wearing? Katie, come on, my love. Marshall has said, breaking news. Grandchild's calls his granny. Get a grip. Harry has said, such a lovely family. I'm sure Diana would have been so proud. Kate looks sensational and little George is a real cutie. He sure is. He's absolutely gorgeous. So you have plenty more news and gossip after this. Now, in some other news today, the Alton Towers victim Joe Pugh has spoken out for the first time about his ordeal on ITV's This Morning. Twitter was full of praise for Alton Towers crash survivor Joe Pugh this morning, after he gave his first ever television interview on This Morning following the horrific accident that happened just over a month ago. The 18-year-old spoke about the traumatic incident which left him with shattered knees, which was completely shocking, and his girlfriend Leah Washington needing one of her legs amputated, with presenter Philip Schofield and Amanda Holden on the ITV daytime show. He spoke on the sofa to the host. During the emotional conversation, Joe insisted that he doesn't blame Alton Towers for their Smiler roller coaster smash, and admitted that he may go on a roller coaster again, but then he said in a later interview that he doubts he would. He said, since the crash, you couldn't have asked for more. I don't want to point blame at anyone until something, i.e. health and safety, is revealed. He insists that he doesn't want any pity, hatred using a wheelchair, and described looking down and seeing blood everywhere during his ordeal following the crash. During the interview, several Twitter users took to their social media accounts to praise Joe for his bravery and to wish him luck for the future. One person wrote, so much respect for @JoePugh _ so brave and so genuine, good luck with everything. We echo that completely. Another person posted, watching Joe Pugh on ITV This Morning, how he comes across so incredibly determined, brave and a decent young lad. Seriously, bless him. We wish him the best of luck. One Twitter user said, he could teach us all a thing about life. His bravery and his non-judgmental attitude is so refreshing. Joe Pugh was clearly praised with the praise he'd received, as he retweeted a number of comments and thanked Philip and Amanda for a brilliant interview, and he enjoyed his time at ITV studios. He wrote, thank you for everything at ITV's This Morning, and thank you @Scofie, which is Philip Schofield's Twitter name, and @Amanda _ Holden for a brilliant interview. Kiss. We have to say we completely echo what he said. He's fantastic. Pages took to her Twitter account and said, actually terrifying hearing Joe Pugh talk about his Alton Towers crash. So scary. #This Morning. Gemma took to her account and said, just watched Joe Pugh's story on This Morning. So sad, poor boy. Sammy said, Joe Pugh is an awesome. He's so badass for dealing with it that well. #This Morning. A lot of hashtags, even though it's Twitter. TJ said, what a lovely lad Joe Pugh is. #This Morning. And Kaz said, Joe Pugh on This Morning. What a genius and a determined young chap. Good to know he's doing well. As we said, we completely echo that. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye. Get in touch and get involved. You can contact us on our social media platforms. Hitting us up on Facebook, following us on Twitter, sending your pics to us on Instagram, and emailing us. I'll look forward to hearing from you.